what gives me the chutzpah, if you will, to come up here and talk about how to live a life of adventure? I want you to know that I have never been given a thing in my life. I am a farm boy from Leroy, Michigan. Anybody know where Leroy, Michigan is? Oh, yeah, those two Michiganders over there. Okay, Leroy, Michigan, yeah. Little tiny burg of 500 people. But my mom said, you're going to college. Okay, Mom. Anyway, in my travels in the last 35 years, I've done 6 out of the 7 continents. The 7th one will be a snap. Just to give you an idea, I've bicycled across the United States, coast to coast and border to border, 6 times. That's been fun. Traveled all up to Alaska 5 times. Traveled the entire length of South America, from Caracas, Venezuela, down to Tierra del Fuego, back up through to Paraguay, Uruguay, Falls de Guasu, and I know some of you have gone down there, you've seen Falls de Guasu. Whoa. So then you come out here to Rio. I've traveled all over Europe 3 times. Just recently, this bike ride right here, Arctic Circle Norway to Athens, Greece, with Bob Johannes, my old college buddy from here. And he'll tell you, these are high mountains. Nordkapp, Norway, all the way down to Athens, Greece. What a fantastic summer that was. Have traveled through India, through Bangladesh, all through Asia and China, up to the wall of China. I took a cycle and cycled even down to Tassie, 17,000 kilometers around Australia. One of the hottest, most hot, miserable. I'll have to tell you, it's rough out there. 120 degrees of heat. And also through Indonesia. Also down here at the bottom of the world, Antarctica. Spent 6 months down there. So really have had some fun and done all 10 Canadian provinces, all of Mexico. My mode of travel has been a bicycle. I've always loved the pedaling. I was a paper boy as a kid. And so the bicycle was always something that it's a body, mind, spirit thing. You get into the bicycling and it just hooks into you. You've now seen that map. Well, guess what? It says right here, this is your playground. And that's what this planet is. You got 70 or 80 years to really enjoy it. I recommend that you start your bucket list now, early, as soon as possible, and make every minute count. And so that's the big key. Now that you know the world is your playground, I'm going to share with you a couple of quotes. Security is mostly superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger in the long run is no safer than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or it is nothing. Of course, what great lady said that one? Helen Keller. Blind, deaf, mute, the whole thing, and yet made a fantastic life. How about Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, the great German philosopher? Plunge boldly into the thick of life and seize it where you will. It is always interesting. No matter where you are in your life, whether you're a competitor, whether you're whatever you are, the key is that you participate by being there. On the starting line, not to win or lose, just simply do the race, come in at your time, and you're a winner. Drill into what makes you happy. Do what you like to do and get paid for it. Instead of doing something that you're getting paid for, but you don't care for it. It's much more fun to do what you like to do and get paid for it, and you're just like, hey, I'm having a party every day. I mean, it hasn't always been that way for me, but I get up 7 days a week, and it's always Sunday, because my work is my play, and my play is my play. Intention rules the world. Intention makes things happen. Intention is what will change your life. One thing about you see people that say, I wish this, I hope this, if something could happen, this or that or the next thing. No, the universe can't do anything with a wish or a hope or a want, but it certainly can do something with an intention. Okay, all right, there we go. You hold that. Here, you come up here and hold this. Okay. Okay, I'm coming out of La Paz, Bolivia on my bike. And we just hit a 10-inch snowstorm the night before. We went past Lake Chungara and Payachatas. It was the most gosh-awful. Rocks, Altiplano, we're at 13, 14, 15, and now we're at almost 16,000 feet going on the El Camino Highway. And my 2 buddies are in front of me. We had just jumped into the tents that night, ate soup, and freezing to death, got warmed up, lived through it. Next morning, you can imagine, not much traffic up here in this place. It's the only landline from La Paz, Bolivia to Arica, Chile. They're ahead of me, And I've got a slower cadence, so let them go. I catch them at lunch and I catch them at dinner. I mostly was by myself through all of South America for a year. But anyway, down below me is 3,000 feet of nothing. And this is this gravel rock road, and I'm banging along, and there's a different thing. And all of a sudden I look up, and gosh, there's two big black dots in the sky at 18,000 feet. So I'm pedaling along and just hammering down the road, and I'm getting down there okay. And all of a sudden I got this funny feeling. Somebody is watching me. Somebody is, and I look off. Oh my God. There are two 12-foot wingspan condors, like two big B-52s, and they were feathering, and they're from here to the wall. They're 20 feet off my handlebars. And this is what their wings are like, folks. And they're looking over me, and the one was saying, "Hey, Jake, does that look like lunch?" You know, and I'm sitting there, and of course I shot all of my film up the day before because there were, at 15,000 feet in Lake Chungara, nothing but pink flamingos. The only place in the world where pink flamingos are at 15,500 feet. And they're indigenous. It's unbelievable. And I'd shot all my film, and then I didn't have any film, and I'm sitting here looking at these two guys, and they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them. Oh my gosh. And finally, after about 90 seconds, their curiosity was, so they appreciated it, and they just said, "Okay, well, he's not small enough for us to eat." And so they flapped these monster wings on them. Can you imagine? They just flapped these monster wings, and they just went back up to 18,000 feet, and I was left with this extraordinary memory. And okay, thanks, guys. Thank you, Mike. So, and can you imagine, the name of my bike is? Yes, it's Condor, because Condor has allowed me to fly with the condors. And that's the magic of travel in this playground. And like I say, I could sit here for the next, till 12 o'clock, and I couldn't get through a quarter of the stories that are so much fun when you're out on the highway. So now, how do people live a life of adventure? Now, here's a couple. Harriet Anderson, 72, has completed 17 Ironman triathlons. 72. What does that tell you? No matter how old you are, no matter what race, creed, or color you are, I don't care if you're tall, you're skinny, you're fat, you're short, whatever you are, it doesn't make any difference. I don't care if you went to school, didn't go to school. Guess what? You have the ability to make the intention to make anything happen in your life.